one or two things that's really on my mind having to do with fear. Fear has been a topic that has been on my mind probably for 2 weeks now, to the point where I have people from my church who are even sending me clips about, oh, this pastor said this about fear, this pastor said this about fear. And I, people are really beginning to resonate with understanding that fear can envelope us, but we don't have to constantly live in fear. Okay? Fear, we get fearful, but we shouldn't stay in a state of fear. And I see people talking about it in my church. Like I said, they're sending me videos. I made a video either earlier this week or last week talking about how to come out of fear biblically. And that resonated with a few people. And so I just really feel like there is a group of people, probably more than a group, but at least a group of people who you came to this video today, you came to this live today because every time you get ready to push forward, there's something that just blocks you dead in your tracks, that stops you, and you begin to retreat and go back to what's old and what's familiar. And I want to tell you that ain't nothing but fear rearing its ugly head. Fear will make you turn back around and go back to what's familiar, even though what's familiar will destroy you. Speak on that some more, Brother Jules. Listen, if I stayed in the projects, all right, I was born and raised in the projects. If I stayed in the projects because I was comfortable, because I was used to that kind of living, I was used to being in a tight confined space. I was used to not having a lot of grass. I was used to being around folks who would steal and smoke weed and smoke other kinds of things too, and just do all kinds, like, I don't want to give you my sob story, but I've been around some things. Okay? Fear would have had me not to leave that environment. Fear would have had me to stay in that situation. Fear would have had me not to go and get at least a little bit of education. Fear would have had me not to come on here today and speak to you. But I understand that I can't live in fear. Sometimes we get fearful, but I can't live in that. Because if I would have stayed in the projects, if I would have stayed in that poor environment, if I would have stayed around people who all they did was steal and eventually kill and do drugs, if I would have stayed in that environment, then not only could I not speak to you today with this conviction and with this power, but I would probably be one of them. All right, I would probably be a statistic instead of being here trying to encourage you. So let me read this, and I won't be on here long. Give me like maybe 3 more minutes or so. Let me read this from 2 Timothy 1:7, according to the ESV. So that's the English Standard Version of the Bible. Okay, and I'm reading. I wrote it down on a little note card here. For God gave us a spirit not of fear, but of power and love and self-control. All right. God didn't give us a spirit of fear. He didn't give us a spirit of fear. So if God didn't give us a spirit of fear, you have to ask yourself, where did that feeling come from? When you get ready to push forward, when you get ready to do what you know you're supposed to do, and someone says, you can't make that. You can't grow that business. You can't finish your degree. You can't leave this job. You can't leave that toxic relationship. You can't make it. You're stupid. When those things start talking in your mind, that's not the spirit of God. What is that? Trying to interact with you and trying to turn you around, and sometimes successfully turns you around. That's nothing but the enemy. So then we know, okay, if God didn't give us a spirit of fear, then when that thing hits us, that's directly from the enemy. So we know that one of the enemy's tactics is to get you to fear enough to where it prevents you from moving forward. I heard it described like this from Pastor Mike Jr. Fear is designed to make you feel inadequate, so it stops your activity. He said it something like that. Fear will stop your activity, and you'll begin to toil with your identity. Well, who am I? What am I supposed to be doing? Am I really qualified? Am I tall enough? Am I light skinned enough? Am I dark enough? Am I handsome enough? Am I pretty enough? Am I smart enough? Am I all these different things? You are enough. You are enough. Listen, when Moses asked God to when he said, okay, God, what should I tell the people about who you are? And God said to him, I am that I am. Tell them that I am sent you. So what does that mean? That God envelopes everything. I am everything. So if God has created you and he is the great I am, what does that make you? If he is I am, then you can do it too. You can do it too. God has given you all the ability to succeed. He's given you everything you need to succeed. Do you have the will to sustain life's obstacles? Are you persistent enough? And do you understand the definition of persistence? I heard persistence describes like this. Persistence is being consistent when you are in turmoil. It's being consistent when there's resistance. Can you keep doing all the things you need to do on a daily basis to remove yourself from your current situation, to get to the goal that you are after, while you're getting resistance, while it's not working, while while there are some setbacks, while you don't have all the money, while you don't have all the support from your family, while some of us don't even have family, some of us come from broken homes. I never met my father. Is that an excuse for me not to be successful? No, it's not an excuse. It's not. If anything, it's given me a heart for people who have gone through a similar circumstance, who didn't have both parents in their lives, who had to be adopted by family. It's given me a heart for that, but it's not an excuse to not be successful. So you have to succeed in spite of what you think is an inadequacy, what you think is a weakness of yours. Listen, don't you understand that God's strength is made perfect in your weakness? So where you feel inadequate, where you feel like you're not enough, where you feel like, yeah, I don't have all of that like so-and-so has. In all those places is exactly where he can strengthen you. He will show you what he can do in your life. If you can be persistent and consistent enough. That means to keep on going while you're taking hits. God didn't promise us that I forgot how the song goes. Nobody told us the road will be easy. Nobody told me the road would be easy. And I forgot the rest of the lyrics. And I can't sing. But the road won't be easy. The road won't be easy. But God has promised us. He's promised us that it will always be worth it. He promised that he would never leave us or forsake us. So on this road you are on currently, and I told you give me 3 minutes. I'm a little bit over my time. Give me a minute. I just want to give you a little bit of encouragement for you to go on with the rest of your day today. With the road you are on currently, bumps and bruises and all, setbacks and all, pain and all, can you use that pain as fuel to keep on going? Can you say to yourself, this pain is only temporary? And I know that it's temporary, so let me keep on going. I was watching something last night. Here I said only a minute. Sometimes I go off on these tangents. Bear with me. I was reading something last night about the Marines. And the guys who got through Hell Week said, I wasn't concerned about how I was going to get to the end. I was concerned with how I was going to get to my next meal. So they're training, they're running in and out of the water, dirt, sand all over them. They're getting up, I think 5 in the morning, something like that. And the guy who got through it, he's an actual Marine. He said, I wasn't worried about being a Marine. I was worried about getting to my next meal. So that's how the pain didn't break me. See, the pain won't break you if you just focus on the next step. Sometimes we focus, we're here, and we need to get to here, and we're just concentrated on what's over here, what's over here, what's over here. But what about this step? What about this step? What about this step? Until you get to this point. Take it step by step on the road you're currently on. You know where you want to go, you know, and you know how you want to get there, relatively. But sometimes the goal feels so big that it cripples you. And that's where that fear sets in. But fear is not your future. Fear is not your future. Success is your future. God-given success, seeing the promises of God is your future. Brokenness is not your future. Becoming whole is your future. What they did to you doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. God is going to get the glory out of that. It doesn't matter. Use it. Use it to push you forward. I never want to go through that again. Let me keep going. I never want to feel that way again. Let me keep going. I never want to have someone take advantage of me in that way again. Let me find somebody who is the exact opposite of what got me in that situation. You keep on going, keep on progressing, keep on moving forward, step by step by step, until you get to that expected end. You got to take it step by step. We're not worrying about, okay, I really want to do this, but it's all this pain. We're worrying about the next meal. What comes next? Like the Marines, what comes next? I'm worried about getting to breakfast. And then I go through some pain. I worry about getting to lunch. And I go through some pain. I'm worried about getting to dinner. Then I go to bed and I do it all over again. You take it step by step, chunk by chunk, piece by piece. That's how you get through this. So I hope that encourages you today. I got to go. But I want to read it one more time. For God gave us a spirit not of fear. Other versions will say God has not given us a spirit of fear. For God gave us a spirit not of fear, but of power, love, and self-control. God has given you the power to succeed. God has given you the power to overcome the fear. If you trust in him, God has given you the ability to love. You love God. You love yourself. You love the people around you. And he's giving you self-control. You don't have to live in that fear. He's giving you that self-control to say, I feel the fear. I see what you're trying to do, enemy. I can hear you even talking to me, but I refuse because God hasn't given me the spirit. You're trying to put this on me. That's not who I am. That's the self-control. Grab your control back. Snatch your control back and watch what it does in your life. All right, be blessed and take care.